Local history. Local culture. Local events. Your community. This is the Joe Kelly Show.
Hi there, everybody. Welcome to the show. Howard Bushinger is our guest. Howard's the guy we go to whenever we want to talk about North Utica, Deerfield area, because he spent most of his life studying that, and he has really kind of depicted the history of North Utica through your calendars.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, it started out with two books
Uh-huh.
in 2011, 2012, and then turned out it went into calendars.
Yeah.
I finally was able to get some material on Riverside Mall, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I found an album, just lucky to find it,
Yeah.
with a lot of hundreds of pictures.
Howard, we were talking before the show. I was asking you if you were going to do another calendar, and you don't think so, huh?
No, I haven't. It's not in my plans.
Yeah.
It's possible it could happen, but right now I'd have to say no.
So much is happening in North Utica, though, right now.
There is. Every time, every couple of months, you see some new developments. The road itself is being worked on. The Citgo station there, they had a car wash, now it's turning into a store.
Yeah.
Over there on the four corners, Deerfield corners. And there's just so much happening. It's continual evolution. There's such a big change over all these decades.
Yeah. It started with an annexation, did it not, Carl?
Yes, Utica annexed about 4 square miles of Deerfield. And the reason was, part of it was, New York Central Railroad had floods every spring. And they basically, could use the word threatened, or said, we're going to cut your service to Utica if you don't do something about this flooding. This is very annoying, delaying the trains. So it came to pass that they discussed it with the town leaders in Deerfield. In Deerfield, the 4 square miles, the people within that area benefited tremendously because they got fire protection from Utica, police protection, electric lights at the time, and they could use the Utica school system. So it was a big benefit to those people. And one of the big things at the time, they had to reroute the river, and the canal was being built. Started in 1905, the canal, and it finished in 1918. But with the canal, it required 2 big bridges to be built, over Howard Ave, over the canal, and over North Genesee Street. Tremendous expense. Deerfield, a rural community, could not afford that kind of money. So it all kind of worked together, and so the boundaries became Lorraine Ave on the west, Schuyler on the east, Firehouse Road on the north, and basically the railroad tracks on the south. Mm-hmm. Became that 4 square miles.
Yeah. The bridges that you're talking about, those are not the same bridges, but they're in the same spot today, right?
Same spot, yeah. They've been, the roads have been modified. Bridges have been modified a little bit.
Howard, I remember seeing a picture. I don't think it was on any of your calendars. Maybe it was. But a picture on North Genesee Street of a toll house. They were collecting tolls. Does that ring a bell?
That was way back. Yeah, that was way back. I couldn't tell you the year. I just couldn't tell you, early 1900s maybe, but yes, they did. They had a toll to come into North Utica. I don't know about going the other way, but yeah, there was a toll.
Yeah. Do you recall from your readings what that toll was?
I do not.
Yeah.
I do not. It was small, but at the time, an aggravation.
Yeah.
People don't like tolls.
Yeah.
So
the North Utica we'll talk about Riverside Mall in a second, but Riverside Mall was a driving force behind the development of North Utica. But now there's another driving force, that Inner Harbor project, right?
That is a big one. when they've got the plans laid out, I believe, and I think there's an outline and maybe that 100th anniversary calendar towards the back. I may have a layout that was from a few years ago, tentative developments that they're going to put on that in the harbor there, and it's going to be tremendous. I just learned recently, and you've probably, other people have heard about this, they're going to try to build, I think this is a great idea, a connector from the Nexus Center or that area over into the harbor.
A pedestrian bridge.
A pedestrian bridge, exactly. That's what they would call it.
Yeah, the mayor of Utica was on the show not too long ago. He was talking about that pedestrian bridge. That's going to be quite something.
I mean, it's tremendous. Of course, it'll be covered, and really, North Utica has just grown by leaps and bounds.
Did you ever think you'd see so many hotels on North Genesee Street?
And you know, they all seem to be, I don't know the financial end, but they all seem to be doing well. None have folded up.
Yeah.
They've been there for quite a few years. And there's a Starbucks going to go right in front of, I can't think of the name of the hotel, right before you go over into Utica over the bridge on the west side.
Yeah.
There's a building going up. They haven't put a sign up, Starbucks coming, but
is that by the Marriott there?
Is it a Marriott? Maybe it's a Marriott. Yeah, it's right near the where you didn't go into the harbor, where almost across from Wurz Ave, where Wurz Ave enters North Genesee.
Yeah, yeah.
Just to the left. Yeah, they've been building and building, and no big name Starbucks.
Yeah.
But I'm told that it is going to happen.
Yeah. Did you ever think you'd see this kind of development in North Utica?
No. I could never imagine 50, 60 years ago, and when I was a kid, you know, it was old houses, a lot of gas stations, and saloons, bars, and that kind of thing. And of course, the ever-present McConnell baseball field, big entertainment center, and the Roller-Drome, big entertainment center.
Do you remember McConnell Field?
I do, I do.
They called it what, Splinter Haven or something like that?
Splinter Haven, because there were wooden bleachers and people literally got got slivers.
Yeah, and that was the Utica Blue Sox, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I misquoted myself when we once mentioned that in the past, and I think it was 1947 they won the Eastern League pennant. Yeah, and I think I incorrectly stated that. I think Frank Tomeno made a correction.
Yeah, well,
Frank knows
he does
better than anybody.
He does.
Yeah.
And he remembers that ball field as well. The Roller-Drome, though, I don't know about that.
Now that opened in 1938, and the manager was Archie Wing, W-I-N-G, and it was quite a place. It was just an old warehouse, actually, but some of the young girls developed a skating team, the Rollerettes, I think they called them. And in fact, my wife's aunt was one of the feature skaters. They did a great go-around competition.
Yeah, when we come back, I want to ask you exactly where that was.
Okay.
Stand by for 1 second. We're going to take a short break. Howard Bushinger is our guest. We're talking North Utica. Short break. Right back. And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Howard Bushinger is our guest. Howard's our go-to guy whenever we want to talk about North Utica. And all kinds of things are happening in North Utica now. Lots of projects, hotels, pedestrian bridges coming. We think a Starbucks is coming. Yes, Howard?
Yeah.
And the big thing is all that work around the Inner Harbor. You know, Howard, I was thinking during the commercial, how many mayors have been on this show over the years? A lot of mayors talking about that Inner Harbor coming, and it never came. But it looks like it's a reality now.
You know, I'm confident it's going to happen. I don't have any inside information, but what the different parties have done, what is it called, Mohawk Valley Garden, Robert Ash, and the mayor, and the different ones, they're making things happen. And the Nexus Center, hopefully they'll have it completed for teams to play this fall. I don't know that for sure, but they're working on it now. It's going fast.
Yeah.
They're going to have 3 ice rinks in there, and that'll be great. So these changes are going to happen. There's no question.
The gateway to North Utica has always been, from the east to the west, has always been Herkimer Road. Very historic street, Herkimer Road.
Yes, it is. It is. In fact, there's a home at 1462 Herkimer Road. Doesn't mean much to anybody unless they live near there, which was, probably 50 years ago. It was the Fireside Inn. Very nice, elegant restaurant run by the family, Zeman's. Doug Zeman was the son, and he ran it for a few years after his parents died. Prior to that, it was, I just can't remember the name, but originally it was built in 1788 as a stagecoach stop. That's how far back. Herkimer Road was called by different names. I can't recall all of them right now, but there were different names as it went through the years. But that, there were 2 coins, no, I'm sorry, 1 coin found under the foundation. Builders used to put them under the foundation. It's a Connecticut halfpence, 1788. And there's a picture of that in the 100th anniversary calendar, both sides of it, a little hard to read. But I learned about that, and Doug Zeman, the owner of the Fireside Inn, he said he found it, and they gave it to him, and he kept it. And it's, 12 years before that, George Washington came right up through there with his entourage after the Revolutionary War. And so that is very historic. And then there's another home, 705, about a mile up west, up the road on Herkimer Road, near Larchmont Ave. Well, within a quarter mile of Larchmont Ave on Herkimer Road. It's brick. It had 9 fireplaces in it, and there was the only general I know of from North Utica, General George Weaver. John Weaver, I think his name was John Weaver, I misspoke myself. And he was a general in the War of 1812. And that, of course, is very historic.
Now, you mentioned the 2 houses, the one where the penny was found and this one. Are either one of those houses still standing?
Yes.
Both of them?
They're both standing, yep. The one, the wood frame house, 1788, is a little rough condition right now, but the new owner's taken over. All the original family died that ran the Fireside Inn. And hopefully they're going to refurbish it and make it really nice.
And the second one that you mentioned, the home of the general?
The brick, that's brick. And I said there's 9 fireplaces in there. And it's just kind of sat in the same condition for 50, 60 years. I'm not sure who owns it.
Yeah.
But
now, talking about historic homes, there's another one on Herkimer Road that comes to my mind, and that is the house that Ruth Howard Weaver lived in, correct?
She lived there, as far as I know, all her life, just about. And that still stands, and they've done some work on it to spruce it up. And there's a few houses in that area. Across the street is where I live, right across the street from her. And Yeah, and as we all know, she's quite the lady.
Oh yeah, I was just reading about her the other night. She had a fantastic career, including at the Savings Bank of Utica. A lot of people would know Ruth Howard from the Savings Bank of Utica. Wasn't that home, the Ruth Howard home, or her family home, wasn't that built with Weaver bricks? Wasn't there a Weaver brick company?
As far as I know, it was built by Weaver Bricks, yeah.
Do you know where that was?
With the Weaver Brick factory, or
yeah.
where they made. Well, I believe it was somewhere near the Mohawk River. That's where they got the clay and the material to put the bricks together.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think it was my first book, I have a photo of the brick, Weaver brick, and the mold that it was put in. At the History Center, they had that available.
The brick or the
brick itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where they made them.
Mm-hmm.
I can't pinpoint where they made them, but it was not far from the Mohawk River there.
Yeah. The book that you're referring to, your book, is that still for sale at the History Center?
It is. It is. There's 2011 book, North Utica, A Look Back in Time. 2012, North Utica, Another Look Back. Very original title. And they're for sale there. And I believe they're open now Monday through Saturday, Monday through Friday, 10 to 4.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're open on Mondays.
Maybe,
I'd have to
maybe
check
it's Tuesday
on that.
through Saturday.
Might be. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And 1608 Genesee Street.
Mm-hmm.
And they do a great job in there. It's so they've got a few. I've had some more printed, thanks to Doug Peters at Peters Printing. Avalon, that printed the original ones, went out of business, left Utica.
Mm-hmm.
They did a great job. In the beginning, when I started doing the books, there was over 1,200 of them sold.
It's a lot of books.
Most through the History Center, and a number of them through myself, and some were given away, of course. And they do charge a tax at the History Center for the bookstore.
Yeah. When we come back, let's talk about Riverside Mall. Big part of North Utica's history. Howard Bushinger is our guest. We're talking about North Utica. Short break, right back. And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Howard Bushinger is our guest. Howard is our go-to guy for North Utica. We've been talking about North Utica history, and a big part of that history is Riverside Mall. Riverside Mall was huge, Howard. I mean, it looked nothing like what's there today. It's been all changed.
Well, at one point in time, to jump ahead of when it was built, it was there for 24 years. Then they big boxed it. Syracuse developers up there, I believe the ones that owned Destiny, or was it called Carousel prior to that?
Yeah.
Came in and took over, and it changed the whole complexion of things. Now that mall was the only mall in Oneida County, indoor mall. It had everything. Free parking, you're out of the weather. In fact, they claimed they could park 3,500 cars. Mm-hmm. And they claimed that it was the size of 12 football fields, the mall itself. I don't know about that. 650,000 square feet, to go into detail. Mm-hmm. But they truly did. It said, you know, Riverside Mall has it all, and this is your place to get everything, anything. Yeah. They had their little slogans.
Who was the anchors for that? Montgomery Ward was one, wasn't it?
On the south end, and the biggest would be Montgomery Ward. And I don't know if it'd be ironic or not, they were the last ones to leave when they closed, but okay, in the middle was Howland's.
Howland's, yeah.
And the north end was J.M. Fields, kind of a discount store.
Kind of like a Kmart? Like a Kmart?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. They only lasted 4.5 years. And Bradley's moved in, and they were a really nice upscale, not like a Macy's, but very, very nice store. And that was a strong anchor on that north end, Bradley's. And I was involved because I was with the Labor Department, New York State Employment, and I was involved with all the hiring set up for Bradley's, which was great. I mean, I happen to know the guy that set up all the hiring for the place.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned that you were with the New York State Labor Department, because a lot of people probably remember you from then. How many years did you put in with the state?
30.
Yeah. The other thing about Riverside Mall that I remember was they were always doing promotions down there. There are a lot of promotions.
When they opened Montgomery Wards, they had a promotion. You registered, didn't cost anything. And the Mohawk Valley Comets were the big hockey team that were playing in the area. And they had a first prize of 12 season tickets. Pretty nice. The second prize was 12 Mohawk Valley Comet booster jackets. Really nice. I think I'd have rather have one of them than the season tickets. Then they had another prize, 24 24 national, they call it, American Hockey League pucks with the logo, the crest as they call it on them.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was really nice, and they gave them away. And
wasn't there a promotion, Howard? I probably learned this from you, and I think it was at Montgomery Ward, where for $5 you could fill a shopping bag or something like that?
March of '01. Okay, the mall closed in '98, the mall itself. Wards, they hung on until March of '01, and the last day, everyone that wanted to participate paid $5 and get a good-sized shopping bag, and you could fill it to the top with anything and everything except jewelry. They put that in a strong box. They locked it away.
Yeah.
I talked to the woman who worked in jewelry, and and that was quite a thing. Pretty nice to do. They closed 250 stores. They lost 100 employees locally, 167,000 employees nationwide. Utica's store ran well. It ran well.
The Montgomery Ward you're talking about.
It was corporate that went bad, and that's what cost the demise of Wards.
Now they had a small little, I'm going to test your memory now. They had a small little restaurant.
I know what you're going to say.
All right. And it was off on one of the side corridors.
It was right by Catalog, right across from the Catalog. And it was a buffeteria. They call it a buffeteria.
Yeah.
And you could go in there and get a variety of things, small little lunches and things, snacks, and it was handy for the employees and customers as well. Nice little touch.
And I don't know, some of the other things that come to my mind, there was Baskin Robbins in there, and what are some of the others that come to your mind, Howard?
Oh my gosh. Well, one thing I want to mention before I forget it is even the employees that worked in the mall didn't know about it, but they had a swimming pool in the mall. And where it was in the north end, the northeast wing, in a fun and fitness health spa. Now, it wasn't an Olympic-sized pool, but it was maybe, 40 by 30 feet or something like that. And nobody really knew about it.
Yeah.
Basically, just a handful of people,
Yeah.
if you remember the spa. Yeah, but they had so many places. They had all these restaurants. One of the nicest, most elegant was Copperfield's. It was down in the southern end on the kind of the western side. Copperfield's restaurant, humongous fireplace, 2 stories. And people would, in fact, I took my in-laws there for an anniversary, 40th anniversary. Just a beautiful restaurant, top shelf, Copperfield's. And there's a picture in there of their little matchbox that they had. I've got in there that I salvaged from my...
Now I know that the calendars are out of date, but there's beautiful pictures in there. So Are those calendars still available?
Yes, again, Doug Peters Printing, they printed up, I had them print up a dozen. Or was it 10? 10, doesn't matter. There was a number of them, I could get more. Anybody wanted them, they're dated 2015.
Right.
So people, this is out of date. It's a souvenir. There's a lot in there that people would like to look back at. A lot of people see their relatives in there. The food court, big picture of the food court, opened in March of 1990.
Yeah.
And they
go through Utica County History Center. Go up there, right, and get it?
I'm sorry?
Go up to Utica County History Center and get this.
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
We got to wrap it up, even though I'm having a lot of fun talking history with Howard Bushinger. That's going to do it for this week. We'll be back next week. We'll do it all again. Don't forget cnyhomepage.com. Lots of good stuff there. Until next time, take care of yourself, everybody.